Mostly Rational, a podcast in which we answer your questions, make jokes only we think are funny, and offer advice as rationally as we possibly can. I'm Tawny Sanchez.
I'm Asia Sanchez.
And today we have special guest Alex Clark joining us via Google Hangouts from Australia.
Hello.
Hi, Alex. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. What's it like in the future?
Tuesday's okay, and the sky's on fire, and the bodies are raining down incessantly.
So it's raining
fine.
men?
Yeah.
They are men. Okay, good. Sounds like a future to look forward to. All right, so for those who have not heard this podcast before, just to reiterate, listeners like you send in questions and we answer them. They can be any kind of question, but today we have a few Australian-themed questions peppered in for our special guest. So shall we get right into it then?
Should we actually ask Alex to, introduce herself a bit?
Of course! What was I thinking?
Who are you? This is the first time I've talked to you, Alex.
I'm just a big gun fan who just wants Asia to show me her guns constantly.
You just have to ask for a picture of me, flexing, and
she just smooched her guns, her arm guns.
Yeah.
Or her lack of guns.
No, the history behind that story is years ago in Maui, when I was living in Maui, I Skyped with my friend Ive and Alex, and they're both in Australia, and they were like, "Show us your guns." That's my bad impression of how they sounded on Skype.
Would you like to do it for us?
Yeah, you should give us a reenactment of that request.
Hey Asia, show us your guns. Where's your guns?
Just like that. Where's your guns? Perfect. And then I proceeded to walk one room over and show them our guns.
Your toilet gun. Was it your toilet gun?
Toilet gun. I think I was in the bathroom when you asked, and then I walked over to my dad's room to show you his guns.
I thought you pulled it out of the medicine cabinet, like Mary Poppins suitcase style, just a huge rifle.
Oh. Well, since then, I have sent other updates, like I sent photos of my dad just casually checking out some guns in a gun store for, just anything to remind them that America is a real place, not just some weird...
I mean, apparently.
That is how we know each other, through internets. And Alex is also an artist. She has drawn at least 2 portraits of me.
Oh yeah. Just keep posting selfies, it'll keep happening.
Yeah. One was my Facebook profile picture for a while, and then another one she drew me as Fire Princess from Adventure Time, doing this really I don't have any excuse for having a photo of me doing that superhero pose, but that's the one I sent to her as a reference.
It was great.
And I loved it. You don't even know. I was freaking out. I was showing everybody that drawing. We'll post it up on the Patreon, so you guys can look at it. You don't have to be patrons to see it, because everyone deserves to see it.
Thank you, Asia, for introducing Alex for us. Well, should we move on to the questions?
I'm just bragging about Alex, so she doesn't have to. Oh, Alex, do you have a website or anything?
Yeah, a few. I don't have a good one with a nice fancy URL, but I can post them later.
Okay, we will post Alex's, sweet links and everything on the Patreon as well later on.
And her spicy links.
And her spicy links, sweet and spicy. All right, let's get into the questions.
Our first question is from Aston, and he asks, most emotionally charged song for you?
I was thinking about this, and I think it's every song that I've ever set in as an alarm clock.
Oh.
I don't,
You want to wake up to
or
an extremely emotionally...
No.
Well, I set nice songs, and then they become my hated songs, within a week.
She gets a Pavlovian response to them. No matter what you set as your song, no matter how nice it is, you will hate it eventually because it's disturbing you. I know. I try to make it the nicest, sweetest, gentlest sounds, but then I'm like, do I really want to hate the sound of rain forever? I don't know. So I probably won't make it rain.
I have different ones for how important it is for me to actually wake up.
If it's not,
Yeah.
and I'm just setting it to be like, maybe I'll wake up at this time, I just leave it on vibrate, and then it goes up to like the One Punch Man theme song if I really need to wake up, and I'll set like multiple alarms that are just yelling at me. But yeah, I do try to avoid using any song I actually want to continue to enjoy. I think I've already answered this question before on an earlier episode. I said I always get the name of the song and the band wrong. Like somebody had to correct it last time. It was Tawny. Why are you trying to? Oh, Tawny has pulled it up for me already. It's "Welcome Home, Son" by Radical Face on the album Ghost. I just knew that off the top of my head. Tawny didn't have to help me with that.
Yeah,
I didn't have my All the Feels playlist pulled up and ready to go for this question. And since I had that, my song, I have, well, obviously several, but there's a song called All My Might by Hunter and Wolf that is a very emotionally charged song, I guess. And also on the Nature of Daylight by Max Richter. It's the song that plays in the beginning of Arrival, or like the beginning and end. It's very. Oh, I thought of another one for me. Is No Children by the Mountain Goats. That one is great for when I'm like sad and angry at the same time.
No, I think the one that gets me, not like a big sad song, but just like a punch in the gut, because alarm clock songs. But it was just Toccata and Fugue, the Dracula theme kind of thing. It was like da 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 da, and like as soon as that comes on in any cheesy horror thing, I was like, ha!
I can't hum it, but I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll insert it here. All right.
Yeah, that's my need to wake up alarm that is just abruptly very loud immediately.
All right, so this next question is for you, Alex.
Yes.
What animal stereotypes are true and false about your country, i.e. everything wanting to kill you?
Everything can kill you. I don't think they're that motivated because it's too hot. Everything wants to sleep, and it will murder you if you wake it up. And I think that's a bit relatable.
That's the balance of nature. Like, they put all the animals that want to eat you on one continent, but made it too hot to do anything. So it's all nice and wow, nature.
When we have people visiting and they want to know which spiders are dangerous, and it's really counterintuitive to just go like, if it's big, it's friendly and nice and cuddly, like a huntsman, that's fine. But the small ones that are brightly colored, they'll mess you up.
That's kind of true here too in California. If you have a rattlesnake, that's dangerous. But if you have a baby rattlesnake, that's very dangerous.
Oh, I have a good snake story.
Oh, good.
When I was probably 7 or something, my dad brought me, it was like a little lunchbox with a dead red-bellied black snake in it for me to play with.
Why?
So I spent a good afternoon like poking this dead red-bellied black snake. It was probably dead. But anyway, so it was real floppy and brightly colored, and I was like just poking it with a ruler for a whole afternoon. It was great. And then the next day, I was like, hey, can I play with that snake again? And my dad brought out the lunchbox but empty and was like, oh, it must have woken up and gone away. I'm like, why would you introduce that concept to me? But also, like, I guess that's the main thing. Don't play with snakes because they look like they're dead, because they do that.
I didn't know.
And then they'll murder you.
That. I have almost the opposite of that story.
And then he died.
My dad, he killed a rattlesnake one time, and he prepared it to cook it because he eats it. And so he cut off the head and he skinned it and all that, and he put it in the pan, and it crawled back out.
Oh! Oh!
And then he went and got my mom, and he was like, Laura, you're not going to believe what just happened. Because they walk in there, and it's coiled up, and its head is up. Like, it's where its head would be if it hadn't been cut off. And she was like, yeah, right, you just put it like that. And he's like, no, I swear. And so he goes over and he starts to touch it, and it strikes at his hand and hits his hand, and like she jumps 12 feet in the air. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And then finally we had dinner. It took a while.
They're just long tubes of nerves. So that part didn't die. Terrifying. Okay. So basically, to sum that question up.
True? Question mark. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Do you want to ask the next question?
What is the best place to eat alone at a restaurant? With servers?
So what is the best way?
The best way to eat alone.
Yeah. See, I think, I don't know. I feel like there is no best way. It's already the best way to eat at a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love eating it by myself.
I don't. I take my food to go, and I will eat in my car. I like it, even if there isn't servers. Actually, I don't. Yeah, most of the time I just take my food to go, and I would rather either take it home or, if I can, or eat in my car or wherever. I don't know what it is.
Ideally, there would be no servers. And I would just be alone, and I could push it into a machine, and it would just be brought to me automatically. And then they give me a bed to take a nap after I eat, and I guess I just want to eat at home. You're right.
Yeah.
But when
I don't know if like you're eating alone, that's like I'm usually doing that when I need free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then I have to do some work, but I end up drawing. And then you get compliments.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's not even when you do a good drawing. Like, servers come over and they go, here's your coffee, and you're great.
That's nice. When
Thanks.
They have to be complimentary. Sometimes random strangers in the restaurant will come up to me and they'll be like, did you draw that? And I'll be like,
yeah. No, I stole this half-drawn image.
This is just a coffee stain. Like, no, somebody came and dropped this on my table. I have no idea where it came from.
I don't like drawing in public. I like drawing a lot, but I don't like people looking at my drawings, and I don't.
Yeah.
Anytime someone comes near my table, I like put my hands over my drawings or like slide something over, because I don't want their even if they say, oh,
any
that's really
comment
good, I'm just like, no, it's not. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I feel that way about music. Like I never want to. Yeah. I never want to practice music because people have to hear you. You can't secretly practice music.
Yeah, I can.
Tawny does.
I do all the time.
Get that secret.
You never know, like someone famous or like a hiring art director or something might happen to see your work.
Yeah.
Actually, one time I was doodling when I was working at a restaurant, and this guy came in and he looked and he was like, oh, that's really good. You should be a police sketch artist. My brother does that. I think they're hiring. And I was like, what? Oh. But then I never did it.
Then you murdered him.
Next question. What small tips/tricks can I do to instantly be or appear a better dancer? Well,
yeah, let me know.
Take a dance class.
Yeah.
So I actually did take dance classes, and the one thing that I've noticed in a lot of people that appear to be bad dancers or just are bad dancers is when they are too embarrassed to move their hips. So if you want to appear to be a good dancer, be willing to move your hips.
Okay, but I'm assuming that they just mean like they're at a party and everyone's saying, come dance, and they're like, no, my body doesn't move that way. So what can they do to just, they don't want to be extravagant, they just want to fit in with the crowd but not look like a total dork.
So watch Hitch and that dance scene, I guess, and use Will Smith's tips and tricks.
What, like flossing and mowing the lawn?
That's not Will Smith. He was saying, don't do that.
Oh.
He was saying just like the side to side. So like you kind of just move side to side. And I think the more you do that,
I think
the
like
more you get
any mistake that you make, just do it one more time and make sure you hit the beat. That's all.
Yeah.
Like just mess up, but do it twice.
See, I just own that anything I do is never going to look real. Everything I do looks like a clown is doing it. And so I just have to lean into it and be like, yes, I
Yeah.
am performing a goofy dance for you all.
Yeah.
This is not
Well,
meant
it
to be
takes the
serious.
pressure off. You don't have to make it look like a cool person's doing it, because that's
we
just
cannot.
not going to happen.
I'm sticking with my hip answer. Because they don't want to,
Yeah.
they don't like a better dancer. Not even just like not a comfortable dancer, just a better dancer in general. Like, and it frustrates me. Because almost all dancing, there's hip movement. And if you're not willing to move your hips a little, then you're just going to look really weird.
Okay, but tell that
Yeah.
to river dancers.
I said almost.
And the robots.
They're moving it up and down.
I move my hips while doing
Oh, I'm so excited for Saturday. We're going to go to the Highland Games and like Highland and Celtic Festival. And we're going to wear kilts and drink beer and watch river dancers and men throwing logs. It's going to be great.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay,
Next question.
is it okay for an elementary teacher to wear Crocs? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Those teachers deserve to have comfortable feet.
I'm going to say that it's not okay for anyone to wear Crocs.
You're such a snob.
Unless you're gardening.
Okay, but teachers have kids who like pee their pants and throw up, and also kids like colorful things. The problem
Wear
is
rubber boots.
if you get kids who watch Vine or YouTube at all, because then you're going to get a bunch of kids going up and going, what are those?
I just feel like kids are going to mess you up. I would be going in with steel toe boots. Like,
Yeah, but then you might accidentally kick one too hard, and then
Too hard.
oh no.
Not just accidentally. How are you accidentally kicking?
Do you not go to prison if you kick a kid while wearing Crocs?
No, it doesn't leave a convincing bruise. So,
But it'd be a very obvious one because it'd have like holes in it.
okay,
You're
so
like,
joke
this-
about kicking kids.
This person definitely did the kicking of this child. You can tell because nobody else is wearing this shoe.
I, though, am likely to accidentally kick a kid just because I do not watch where I'm going.
I have accidentally made a child fall off of their bicycle and run into me
Yeah.
while falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
When I was a swim teacher, I was every day astounded that I did not accidentally, kill a child. Like, none of them drowned on my watch.
Hopefully none of their parents are listening.
Doesn't matter.
Good job.
Okay, next question. Alex, would you like to ask?
What are some current trends you just can't get behind?
No, that's not a current trend. Let's see.
Some video games. I don't know.
Most of them.
Most of them? That's so annoying.
A current trend I can't get behind.
I know some people can't get behind the succulents craze, but you're all about that.
I'm not all about it.
Oh.
I've always liked them. I just could never afford plants in general. And now I can afford a single succulent to have on my windowsill.
She had like 20, but her cats destroyed them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept knocking them down.
I've already gone into this with Asia, but people who don't bring their bags to the shops or won't bring their bags to the shops.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like 100% of the news in Australia at the moment because they just made plastic bags apparently not free, but they're still totally free. But
yeah.
there's like people who haven't tried at all to bring their bags to the shops and they keep talking about it openly like, that's fine.
Bags have not been free here for years now, and I still never remember to bring my own bag.
I sometimes remember. I keep them in my car, and I will go into the grocery store and still forget to bring my bags that are sitting in my car.
I mean, we also do have a supermarket on our block, so when we're going to the supermarket, it is from our house 2 minutes walk.
Nice. Yeah, I wish that were true for us.
The closest one to us is, 15 minutes?
The thing is, I have a backpack I use as a purse, so I can put things in there. And also, I usually don't buy more things than what I can carry in my arms.
Yeah.
At a time.
Do you have the thing where you have to put a coin in the trolley to use a trolley?
No.
Wait.
A shopping cart?
No.
Oh, I was like,
We have that as well.
now?
Like, you have to put a coin in the trolley to unlock it.
That's extortion.
So that's a disincentive. Like, you get the coin back. It's to make people stop stealing trolleys.
I feel
Because trolleys are so much fun.
I guess, but I feel like that's
To just have in your
incentive
house.
to not buy more things because I can't use the trolley because I'm not paying a coin to use it.
There's all these
Explain-
things where people like wear an outfit that looks like you work at the shopping centre and then just loiter in the car park and offer people the valet service of taking their trolley back to the lock thing. And it's just people getting $2 whenever they do that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, current trends we can't get behind.
That's right. I'm having trouble thinking of any because I always just feel like I never know how I'm gonna feel about a trend until it's already almost over.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they first were talking about releasing something called an iPad, and I thought that was just the dumbest thing I ever heard.
That's not going to
I was
last.
like, that's the stupidest name. Like, I was laughing because I was like, why would they name something a pad? Because that sounds like, you know, a women's sanitary napkin.
Do you not
Yeah.
know about the SNL skit?
No.
There was an SNL skit before the iPad came out, and it was,
Mm.
but the iPhone was out, and they were like, introducing the new iPad, and it was like a pad, like a sanitary napkin sort of thing,
Yeah.
but it was like plugged in. And
Yeah.
they stole my idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there are lots of people who are just like, every new thing, they've got to be a big bummer about it. But I just feel like that's not so wise. I used to be that way a little bit, but we never know how society is going to adapt as a whole because there were so many people who used to be like, why would
Yeah.
you need a cell phone? Like, why would you need to be plugged in all the time? And now it's like, we all have to have a cell phone.
I had a discussion. My uncle said, nobody ever needs to stream things. And I was just like, I have not even encountered this as an opinion. I just like launched into every single way streaming is good and wholesome.
You didn't know how
And,
you felt about it before, but
like-
now you do. You didn't know you were so passionate.
Yeah. No, we've got the one where all of Australia just got some internet hardware put in to the telephone lines, but it's inferior now. So we're going to have terrible internet
Oh,
going
no, I'm glad
forward
we
from
are
now.
doing this now. So you just
Oh,
all
yeah.
have the same. You don't all have the same company, but it's all the same lines.
It's not that, yeah, it's like they upgraded the telephone lines, but to something that's substandard for
But
current
why?
needs. Because it was cheaper. And they're like, oh, do you want to have a cheaper thing? Like, I guess we do want a cheaper
They're trying to
thing.
cut you off from us. That's what it is.
They
Yeah.
don't want us to
Yeah,
know the future.
that's how
Yeah,
we'll
they don't
prosper.
want us to know the future. Trying to keep those Australian
No.
future secrets.
All right, we have one more question from Aston. Asia, do you want to ask it?
Okay, I think he's asking this for somebody else.
Oh.
But he says, I think I'm really passive and can't stand up for myself. How to become feisty? I'm thinking this because Aston is not passive.
No, he's very. That's why we're friends, is because we're both awful to each other.
That's why I got really mad at him on Twitter the other day, but we worked it out.
Gotta love
Oh, good.
fighting on social media.
I was in a bad mood. Okay. Okay, so how can we become feisty, you guys?
Push people
Push them
people.
on the street. Just push
I
them.
think that a lot of the reasons you have to analyze why you're so passive and like really find the root of that. And like, for example, if you're passive because you're worried that you're going to make someone else upset, you know, like why are you always worried about that? Because people will become upset over a lot of things. And you kind of just have to accept that and also be able to voice your opinions. And hopefully people will be okay with that.
I'll tell you what helps me. 1 beer and boots.
Boots.
When I'm wearing boots, I feel like I could destroy anybody. Like I get this look on my face. Like try it, try it.
She becomes Spinelli.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I wear pigtails and a beanie and a dress and the boots, and I am
Yeah.
full on Spinelli.
It's a good look.
I got a leather jacket recently.
She was solid.
Too. It's a
Yeah.
powerful look.
Yeah, that'll definitely help this person.
I wrap flannels around my waist. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely just.
Maybe. It could be a wardrobe change they need. It helps me.
Yeah.
It's very different than going out in public in like sweats and feeling, or just like, I don't know. What I'm wearing very much impacts the way I interact with the outside world, and it impacts how they look at me. So if I wear a power outfit, I definitely feel more powerful.
Yeah.
I have a friend, though, who is about the most feisty person I know. And she is also maybe the smallest person I know. Like, she's so tiny. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, she's so small that I've seen strange men just reach down and say, "You're so cute," and pick her up. Which I immediately, like, ball my fists up and yell at them to, like, put her down. It's infuriating. But I have seen her terrify people also if she gets a chance to speak, because she has, first of all, a voice that's way deeper than what you would think would come out of such a small person. But she is not afraid to, like, be rude. You know, she'll be mean, but if she feels like it's deserved. Sometimes to the point where, like, oh gosh, like, go easy on them. Maybe they're having a bad day.
I don't think that that's the best advice or example to follow.
But she comes across as sassy, because I think it's the combination of.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that being sassy is definitely, it's not necessarily the best solution if you're passive, because, like, you can stand up for yourself in a respectable way. You don't have to be feisty necessarily.
But that's what they're asking. They want to be feisty.
Yeah, but maybe they don't realize that, like, being feisty is not always the best idea.
Hey, don't read more into the question.
I mean, it kind of just boils down to pick more fights with strangers. Just make it a habit.
You're right. I like your first
advice.
Just shove them to the
Kick
ground.
them in the face and walk away.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. If you can handle it in personal life, you can handle it in your personal life. Practice on people you don't know.
I've always been kind of a passive person, and when people were mean to me in school, I would just, kind of freeze up and then cry later.
Yeah,
and just be utterly devastated, and also totally blame myself every time. Like, I'm so stupid. Why did I say such a dumb thing? Why did I make everyone hate me? Like, which was partially true, but at the same time, I would also always start thinking in my head of all the things I could have said that would have been, like, in their face, I'd have all these perfect comebacks later. The problem is, I think that's kind of a personality trait of somebody who's in their head a lot, like, because in the moment I couldn't be there to think of the things that I would normally say. I couldn't even be present enough to realize I was being mistreated. It's only in retrospect that I'm like, wait a minute, they shouldn't have treated me that way, and here is what I should have said. So maybe try to imagine these scenarios ahead of time a little bit, or just try to be a little prepared for things that may come up. But at the same time, try not to overthink so much that you can't be there in the moment, ready to reply. Try to be aware of the whole situation and not just completely taken aback that this confrontation is even happening. Because, I mean, I've done that. I've had employers come out and yell at me for something I didn't even do, and I was just like, okay. However, flip side of that coin, sometimes that can work out in your favor. If you're kind of humble and meek that way, later they'll say, wait, you didn't even do anything. Why did you just take that instead of arguing back? And you're like, I don't know. But then you kind of come across as, like, the bigger person. So I don't know. You just kind of have to play it by ear.
I've been in situations like that where they thought I did something, or I had a customer say that I did something I didn't, and they were just like, why did you do this? And I'm like, I'll just wait for them to finish and just say, well, I didn't. Here's what happened. And if you don't want to, like, accuse them and argue, really, you just kind of want to stand up for yourself in a respectable way and say, this is really what happened, and you can do what you want with that information. And I think it would apply just kind of in any scenario. If someone is treating you badly, I think it helps to just like wait for them to stop doing whatever they're doing and pause and then just be like, here's why you're wrong. Key is to not get overwhelmed by any emotion. Don't get overwhelmed by being defensive and angry. Don't get overwhelmed by being sad and hurt. Try to remain calm, because then you'll be able to give the proper response in the moment and not be kicking yourself later for either overreacting or underreacting. It's all about balance. Do you have any specific advice for this, Alex?
I think my reflex in these situations is like if someone's being unnecessary, like if they have one grievance, they can say it, and that's fine. But if they're being unnecessary, I just get them to keep explaining or go, what? Until they realize that they're being ridiculous.
Right.
And just go, what? What? No, you're going to have to explain that. What?
Or just be like a child, like, why?
Why? Although also that thing about like when you haven't done something, and there's a bunch of card games that are about like you have to be good at lying, and I found out I am terrible. But like if I'm telling the truth, I can provide a rebuttal. But if I have to keep anything secret, nope. I am exposed immediated. But
I'm pretty sure people have done that to me, where I was upset about something and then they just kept letting me talk. They didn't respond, and I just kept going and going, because that's a total psychological trick. If you want someone to keep going, you just stay silent. And I would do that. I totally fall for it. I just keep going, and then I eventually realized that I sound like a raving. Like that my grievance is maybe not that serious, because I'm just trying to fill up space now because they're not responding.
Yeah.
I'm the one.
I know
being
Tommy
silent.
does that to me. I hate it so much. And so it works. All right, let's move on.
Whose turn is it? I think it's Alex's.
Yeah.
This
is from your dad.
From our dad. Go ahead.
You do an impression of your dad? No. I have heard you say your dad is the most interesting person you've ever met. Why hasn't he ever been a guest?
Our dad has never heard us say that before.
What we will hear on the podcast is that he's a big fat liar, because we've never said that before.
We admittedly have said he has some pretty interesting stories, so he probably will be a guest someday.
I mean, he's beat up animals. Yeah. He's cooked a snake for dinner. I think those are the things we've mentioned about him. Right. And that he is an ISTP.
Right.
Yeah.
I have told him if he wants to be on the podcast, he has to prove to me that he's listened to all the episodes. And that will never happen because he does not listen. Unless I force him to. And I'm not going to force him to listen to this amazing show. So.
Yeah, we're amazing.
Honestly, I'm so surprised anybody listens, but I'm glad they do. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dad, if you're listening, which I know you're not, that's why you're not on the show.
Also, we like to have people that have something to promote, or, you know, something that is podcast related. Or if they're just cool and from Australia, then we'll have them as a guest on the pod. So she's both. But if you're just our father,
I don't know. Just our
cool
father.
Australian and not your father. Just
those are the 3 rules. So sorry, Dad. None of the above. You'll be so offended when I say it. You'll be like, wait, that means I'm not cool. What? Although, I don't know, it might be a nice extra feature to just have Dad record, like, a story of his.
Oh, yeah.
And insert it once in a while.
Yeah, we don't have to have people be guests for, like, the whole thing, or hosts. They can just tell us stories.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good idea. We could have story time from our listeners.
Oh, I love when we get segments.
While we're recording the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's we'll note that down when I'm editing it. All right. Anonymous.
So for fun, I'm going to leave all of my autocorrect mistakes in for you from now on. I may or may not translate for your benefit. Mwahahaha. Insert hellfire.
So that was just her introduction to her questions, because there were lots of autocorrect mistakes from her last questions that she sent in. And Tanya kept insisting on reading the mistakes instead of correcting them.
People gotta learn. All right, Lee, what would you like to be in your next life? Mashed potatoes, French fries, scalloped, baked, loaded, tornadoed?
Okay, hold on. We got a lot of questions for Lee.
Yeah, so maybe we should just have like a Lee. Like, do we need to bring Lee in right now?
I don't know. Alex, do you want Lee to join?
Yeah, I want Lee. I want Lee.
I don't think that anyone wants. I heard so many complaints about Lee, and
it was only Aston.
No, it was more people actually, and some people told me that I should just eat my humble servant.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad Lee's not in the room.
I know. I told them that I would actually just be surprised if Asia hadn't eaten Lee by this point.
I am thinking about it. I'm very hungry.
Asia, she probably would have if we didn't get so many questions for Lee. But
I was like heating up the skillet, and then I looked at our questions, and I was like, shoot.
Okay.
I guess she gets to live.
So I guess we'll bring in Lee.
All right, Lee, come in. You can come in now. Hi, Lee. So, Lee, we got some mixed reactions to your appearance last time. I've just got to be honest. Some people were thrilled. They loved your cute little potato voice, and some people were like, "Why would you bring this potato onto a already perfect podcast? Why mess with such a great formula?"
I think people are afraid of change.
I agree. I think adding potatoes to any recipe is a great idea. So it can't hurt. Recipe. Like a metaphorical recipe of people on a podcast, and you get it. You understand. Anyway, so we have a few questions for you today, Lee. We're just going to blast through them so that certain people don't get too upset that we've invited you back onto the show. First question, Lee, what would you like to be in your next life? Mashed potato, French fries, scalloped, baked, loaded, tornadoed. Now note, it says next life, not this life. You just gotta think about what you're gonna do in your old age.
I guess I would have to ask what Tawny's favorite meal is for the princess potato, because obviously anything I'm gonna be in my next life would be to serve her best.
Wow, that is dedication, Lee. We could all learn a thing or two from Lee the Spud, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Alex. Alex, this is Lee, by the way. Have you seen it?
Hi, Alex.
I've heard of Lee. Hi, Lee.
Oh, Lee, your reputation precedes you. Awesome. Alex, would you like to ask Lee her next
sure.
question?
What is the most extreme or questionable thing you have done in the service of the princess potato?
I don't know if I can answer that question because I don't think anything I do in the service of Princess Potato is extreme or questionable.
But let me ask you, have you ever committed what might be classified as a crime in the service of Princess Potato?
Can you give me an example?
Have you ever, something minor, have you ever signed a paper because she was too lazy to sign it, so you signed it for her?
Well, I don't know if it'd be the best idea to answer that on a public podcast.
Okay, so theoretically then, maybe not have you, but theoretically, would you kill for her Princess Potato?
I would do anything for Princess Potato.
Oh my. Oh. So, my third and possibly most important question is, should Asia watch her back?
Huh? Are you doing anything that Princess Potato doesn't like?
Always and all the time and every day.
Yes.
Okay, noted.
Absolutely.
Noted. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's all the questions we have for you today, Lee. I'm going to ask a question now of Princess Potato, so you can listen if you want to.
Okay.
Princess Potato, what is your crown made of? And were you born on Mars?
just want to say this is another question from Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
My crown is it's made of those things, you know, that sprouts out of potatoes.
Oh, the thing that tells you that lets you know the potato's gone bad.
Yeah, it's made out of those. And I was not born on Mars. I've never heard of potatoes existing on Mars.
Excuse me, have you not seen The Martian?
Oh, okay. Well,
That's all he eats.
okay. That is true.
He's the true potato.
I am not I am not born of Mars.
When we were children, I told my sisters Kiri and Tawny that I was born on Venus, and when I turned 18, I would return to my original form as an orb of pure energy.
Yeah, we totally believed her.
They totally believed me.
Suckers.
There's no sarcasm.
100%.
Okay. Tawny, maybe read what Anonymous said next.
She says, "Surfless sibling, build your empire. You work at a plant gen tech lab or something, right? Engineer your own legume hybrids. Watermelon carrot, banana bear clones. Banana bean clones. Sorry, it was cut off. What do you say?"
I say that would be a great idea, except I don't work at a plant gen tech lab anymore. I work at a water and soil testing lab, so no genetics going on. My old job, for sure, there was some gene splicing and things involved, but not at this one, unfortunately.
I've always wanted to just do that as like a hobby.
I know. I have been thinking about looking into how to build a home lab, because I think we could.
Test some dirt.
Make our we could make our own side YouTube vlog. Two girls who have no training in their home laboratory.
Call it messing with spuds.
Messing with spuds. But I would probably end up turning myself into like that plant monster from Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say the one from Little Shop of Horrors, but that's actually an alien, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Venus?
From outer space.
Oh.
Oh, probably Venus, because he's a fly trap.
It all comes together, Asia.
But Anonymous, you're right. I do need to build my empire. It may not be a plant hybrid, but I have a feeling that Lee the Spud may turn on me at any moment. I maybe need to build some defenses.
She's still watching you.
God, that honestly, out of every pretend thing scared me. Like I imagined a little potato over there. Oh God, I just touched the dog.
A criminal.
Okay, let's move on back to Australia questions. I'm
Ooh.
sorry in advance
for these very obnoxious questions from our sister.
So, Alex,
Yes?
what would you do if a dingo really did eat your baby?
Not tell the coppers, because they'll send you to jail.
That's true. But you'll eventually get out, and isn't it the fame worth it in the end?
I don't know.
No, probably not. I mean, your baby did get eaten by dingoes.
Yeah, like it's not going to make it less eaten. Mm-mm. You have a dingo now. Like, that dingo is probably your friend. It's not hungry anymore.
I don't think we're going to get a better answer to that question. Okay. You want to go ahead and ask the next one to yourself?
Wallaby or koala, which is better? I think koalas are better just because they make a lot of different screams. Wallabies don't scream.
What is with all the animals screaming over
Koalas
there?
scream?
Oh, look up all of the sounds that koalas make. Hang
I
on.
don't know if I want to.
There's one particular video, and it's like two koalas fighting in a tree, and one of them's trying to climb the tree and just getting kicked out by this like alpha who's going rah, 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 and the bottom one's going ah! Anyway, they're the best They're the
I
best.
don't even need to watch the video anymore. That was perfect.
It's so good, but then it looks like it's like standing up on his hind legs, and he looks like a bad Henson Muppet. Like when Dark Crystal had like those animatronic kind of motions.
Can you
It's
send
so
this
good.
to us after the pod? Like,
Yeah, send us a link to that video. I'm sure we can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I was thinking you were going to say that, you know, like what I believe, which is that koalas are better than wallabies. Because wallabies are wannabes and koalas are quality.
That's lovely.
It's really not. Tawny didn't even have any reaction whatsoever.
I was just thinking about how I've always loved wallabies.
He was off in Wallaby Land.
Well, when I was
They're both very cute.
when I was little, we watched that I think the Boomafoo, and they had wallabies in one of the episodes, and I was
They're
like,
just small
this is the-
kangaroos.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is the best form of a kangaroo. This is what I would like in my life.
Next question, Tawny.
Would you eat kangaroo or crocodile?
I have eaten kangaroo. It's great. Crocodile apparently is chicken. Kangaroo you can get in most supermarkets. It's really dark, and
Yeah, aren't they
sometimes
kind
it's
of
cheap.
like a
They
pest there?
some places
Okay.
they don't encourage you to go out and kill them by yourself, but occasionally,
They're
like an
looking
area
you
will be
up.
like, "There's too many." They get hit by cars all of the time.
Yeah, that's what.
Like they will ruin your car. Like your car
Okay,
is
fine.
worse off when you hit a kangaroo.
It's kind of like elephants in Asia.
And deer here.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like here, people eat crocodile, like in Florida, especially. Well, no, they eat alligators. But
Alligators.
No, I know.
Oh,
But I did not know people ate kangaroo. I had no idea.
oh, it's so good. I think it's good, and a lot of people don't like it.
I would
Like,
try it. I'll try it.
Yeah, it's dark and something else, but it's really high in iron. So there were some theories that it's like a lady thing, that you like it because it's iron. Anyway, it's very efficient at getting all of the good things that meat does for you. I don't know.
I'll definitely try it when I eventually visit.
Acquire a kangaroo.
Speaking of which, the next question, what do I need to know if I want to move to Australia for 1 year? And where should I live?
If you like to sweat,
Does anyone?
anywhere. If you don't like sweating, move to Melbourne. And it's nice here. I grew up in Sydney, and all the bugs are huge there. Like there's flying cockroaches. And then if you're in Queensland, you got geckos, the tiny lizards. And they're apparently annoying.
Geckos are better than bugs.
Yeah. But if you go Victoria or like South Australia or Perth, they seem nice. I don't like being too hot, but some people do like being hot. So,
So what does somebody who's never been to Australia need to know? Like,
I don't know if you need to know anything. We've got a lot of stupid people. It's fine. You'll get by.
So it's pretty relaxed. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That's good. I'm getting that impression that it might be a good time.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned before that you have trouble picking out American accents, like one American accent from another.
Yeah.
But how extreme is it? Like, would you be able to tell, like a Valley Girl California accent, like the Clueless people, like the people in the movie Clueless, versus like a cowboy accent?
Like, yeah. But then, like, Valley Girl is nearly a lot of Australian accents as well, sometimes.
Is it?
And then, like, all of the American accents we get are either from TV or sometimes through the BBC. So it's like fake versions.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, is if you can tell when somebody's faking an American accent.
Nah.
Because, no,
They're all
that's a bit hard
ridiculous.
for us sometimes.
I had some American customers at a shop who were like, what do we sound like? And I was like, you sound like the TV.
That's not the first time I've heard that, actually. I feel like we're slowly making everybody's accents. Everybody's just getting used to our accents because they hear them all the time.
When I was in high school, we had some Australian exchange students for a little bit, and apparently I heard it from someone else, but they were all saying, "Oh, we love your accents. You sound like the people in the movies." And I was just like, "Ugh, I hate our accents. Like, they're the worst."
Yeah.
Because to me, when I listen back on my own voice or just people I know, we're all pretty nasally and whiny sounding, and I hate it. And I really wish I could have a different accent.
Maybe that's why when we're like not focused and we're trying to work on something, we automatically slip into English accents.
Yeah.
They're just so much more pleasant.
It's calming to us to speak in a different accent than our own. What is your favorite? Now I'm just asking my own questions. What is your favorite English speaking accent?
Oh. I don't know. When I was a teen, I liked Scottish accents.
Yeah, I like Scottish accents a lot. I sometimes break into Scottish accents, but I'm not as good at them as regular English.
I don't know if I should share mine.
Why?
New Zealand.
Oh, right. Johnny loves New Zealand.
New Zealand accents are my favorite.
They're much nicer.
They're like, yours actually, you don't seem like you have a very intense Australian accent, but that's what I like about New Zealand accents is they're less intense Australian accents to me.
Yeah.
We know several Australians, but they're from different parts of Australia, and so their accents are slightly different. But I know this one person from Australia, and her accent is intense. Like, it sounds like the stereotypical, like, fake Australian accent that an American would put on.
Yeah.
But it's her real accent. Like, I just remember my eyes being all wide. Like, that's really how you talk. It sounds fake because it's so extreme.
I know someone who sounds like a country Australian old lady. And she's about 30. Yeah. And she sounds like someone who would work at your school canteen. Like, I don't know anyone else who talks like that. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I can't even do it, but it's just so specific, like whatever the Australian accent was in the 1950s, I guess.
I don't even know how to explain it, except that there seemed to be a lot of added syllables in the words.
Yeah.
Like, so when I first ever tried to do an Australian accent, which I'm not very good at doing, but when I first was trying to as a teenager, the first thing I noticed was that the vowels are just different as they come out. Like, when we say no, it kind of goes from O.
It's got a W at the end.
U, like,
yeah.
Oh, no.
Not
and
no.
when you guys say no, it's like no. Like, there's
no.
an I and no.
Yeah.
Like,
Noi.
And,
there was something like that where I was saying it, and it was definitely something that had an OI in the actual word, and I was trying to say something. No, it sounded, anyway, but it definitely puts a lot more I's in every single vowel area.
Right. But this lady I know, she would do that, but it seemed like each of those vowels was its own individual syllable as well.
Yeah.
It was very expressive. I just didn't believe it was real at first.
I still can't get over that caramel is a thing. Like, not saying caramel. Like, caramel's a place. That's for I don't get it.
Caramel.
I say it both ways. I have to ask why you are all obsessed with yeast extract. What's the deal?
I just like, so Vegemite isn't even that specific a taste to just Vegemite. It's basically soy sauce. Like, that's the taste of it.
See, that doesn't really make it better.
And then it's so like an iconic punishment to make people eat Vegemite.
Have you had Vegemite?
No, but it doesn't sound good.
I've tasted it and I hated it.
Yeah.
But
how much did you have? Was it like thick black on bread?
No.
Okay.
But I was
Just
told that's how it's eaten. there.
Mm.
I just had like a dab. I don't know why. Someone I knew was like had come back from Australia and brought Vegemite back with them, and
Yeah.
they were having everyone taste
Yeah.
it. And
Apparently
really
cats
didn't
love
want
it.
to. Cats?
Yeah.
I could
Apparently
see
it's a thing
that.
you can give to cats and they'll love it.
I mean, I eat a lot of soy sauce, but I think
Yeah.
it's just the different context.
Maybe just
Yeah.
eating it like itself and like the idea of what it is. Because I was like looking at the ingredients and stuff and was like, no.
Yeah. It just makes things saltier and more savory. Like, Ive hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
He
It's not
absolutely
just us.
detests it. So when he's out for the day, I have Vegemite.
Okay, I have to ask another thing. What are Tim Tams?
You don't know what Tim Tams are?
No.
They're a
utterly
garbage
ignorant.
biscuit.
A garbage biscuit?
Like, I don't know. But like, so it's like 2 really dry chocolate biscuits and then some chocolate fondant in the middle and then covered in milk chocolate. And then like, I think the reason people like it is just the chocolate really. Because like American chocolate has a very different taste.
Oh, really?
And like English and Australian chocolate is much sweeter and creamier.
Yeah, I don't like our own chocolate that we make, like Hershey's.
Yeah.
Hershey's is gross.
I heard the story from that was that
like chocolate to me.
no. They apparently their iconic taste was during some era with rationing in, so they were using either sour milk or like powdered or something. And so that became their iconic taste, so now they synthesized that on purpose when they could just make nice things.
A lot of our like American food is kind of a direct result of rationing.
Yeah.
Like so many of the weird, unhealthy dishes that they put together, like for
and everything's
homes on a
corn,
budget, everything
like
made
some corn base.
Jello and corn and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And also, I think the whole idea of like microwavable dinners and things like came from sort of that era.
Yeah.
Like that was the future. And yeah, we're weird. But Hershey's, I liked as a kid, but I grew out of the taste when I started tasting chocolate from other countries, and it was so much
Just
better.
anything else.
Yeah.
I like C's candy, like C's chocolate.
C's is good, but
or Lindt chocolate.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Lindt, listen, that's not an American name.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, those are pretty much the only 2 chocolates that I really like.
The first time was a neighbor brought me some Swiss chocolate, and I lost my mind over how good it was, and I was so sad that she wasn't going to go back to Switzerland and bring me back some more. And then my friend went on a trip to England.
I don't know where Milka is from, but it's got that purple pack and some white lettering called Milka.
I've never heard of that.
It's very, very good.
Sometimes we know things by different names, but then it turns out it's the same thing, but they just give different places different brand names.
Yeah.
So it's probably like something that we already eat here, but... Well, thank you for listening to our 11th episode of Mostly Rational. Next month will be our year-long anniversary of doing Mostly Rational. I know, we should do something special. We want to just say thank you to Alex for joining us, first of all, and we're going to come back to you in just a second so you can plug your stuff. But first, we want to say thanks to our patrons for their support. Tyler, of course, still our biggest supporter, so thanks, Tyler. You can always join him in becoming a patron of the Mostly Rational podcast. And we are currently in the market for a better microphone and recording setup. You have no idea how much time we spent trying to get this 3-way thing set up. So, yeah, your Patreon dollars will help us out a lot there. So, also, becoming a monthly donor of $1 or more gets you access to bonus content, including blooper reels. You can also visit our Patreon, and we'll have some bonus materials up from this episode that you don't have to pay anything for, but we do appreciate any amount that you can part with. We also appreciate reviews and likes. Those all help us out. To become a patron and get access to all of those perks, or just to see our bonus material, you want to go to patreon.com/mostlyrational.
You can also support us by rating us on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And of course, the best and freest way to help us out is by sharing the podcast with your friends. If you'd like your questions answered on the next episode, email us at mostlyrationalpod@gmail.com Or go to our fancy new website, mostlyrationalpodcast.com, and submit a question. You can also follow us on Twitter at mostlyrational and Instagram at mostlyrationalpod. All right.
Okay.
I
So
think that's it.
yeah, Alex.
Yes.
Anything you want to say before we go?
Don't visit Australia. It's hell.
What? We spent this entire episode promoting Australia.
No, it's great. It's fine. Whatever.
Well, I was planning on going to New Zealand anyway, so.
Yeah. New Zealand is much better.
Awesome. So, after we finish up, just send me links to anything you want us to post on our Patreon, and we'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for listening to Mostly Rational. Thank you for joining us, Alex, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
We did it.
Yeah.